What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into the Spider-Man Annual Issue number 1, 2023. We are covering this issue because this is part 1 of Contest of Chaos. If you didn't check out the prelude that was Scarlet Witch Annual Issue number 1, what we saw is Agatha Harkness had stolen the heart of Chthon, because Agatha has intentions of creating a new Darkhold. The old Darkhold is currently bound to the Scarlet Witch. Wanda believed that she was protecting it, keeping it away, but Agatha sees that something is on the horizon, that the Darkhold is a necessity to have in the world, and this contest of chaos. We are seeing heroes pitted against one another. This issue is Spider-Man versus Wolverine. One of them will come out the victor, because for whatever is to come, Agatha is gonna need the best of the best. All our heroes will be tested. They will go through their trials and tribulations, and they will face whatever is yet to come. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with the Heart of Chthon, as Agatha drips this heart over a book. Recently, she stole this book, and I highly recommend that you check out the prelude to the Contest of Chaos, Scarlet Witch Annual Issue number 1. This is a story that we have already covered here on the channel, but as we continue on with the Contest of Chaos, we're learning exactly what Agatha is up to, what she wants with it, and what she is going to do. But before we get into all of that, we pick up just a little bit before all of this. She is creating a new order, and it starts with Spider-Man. Now, Spider-Man working his way through the city, facing off against Rhino. These two do what they always do, exchanging blows, going back and forth. Inevitably, Spider-Man wins the fight like he always does. And once he has defeated Rhino, he heads out for the day. He grabs himself a burger and he heads back to his place. But when he pops open the window and he goes to go inside, he opens up that door, and this is where he finds himself in a new place. Something has changed. This is no ordinary Tuesday. When he went through to his bedroom, somehow this transformed into a mystical lost city in the rainforest. And while Spider-Man tries to figure out what the heck is going on, we pick up with Agatha, holding the Heart of Chthon. She is telling Chthon not to resist her. Now, Chthon is still locked away in the Darkhold, which is attached to the Scarlet Witch's soul. But that doesn't mean that Chthon doesn't have some kind of influence. This is when from the mirror behind Agatha comes a creature, a demon coming through to try and thwart anything she is doing. This demon sent by corrosion, because they know what Agatha is doing. And Agatha is no fool. Releasing an ancient magic to create a new Darkhold is not necessarily subtle, but she lets the demon know that if anything or anybody has anything to say about this, they clearly know how to find her. The demon trying to tell her that the power does not belong to you, that it's dangerous, that when you fail, they all will die. But the way that Agatha sees it is she doesn't try at all. Then what? The Scarlet Witch believes that she has rendered the original Darkhold inert by bonding it with her soul. She believes that the world doesn't need the Darkhold. And while no one else can see it, Wanda, the Sorcerer Supreme, they all have incredible ability, but they are lacking the understanding. Because for what is coming, the world doesn't need a hero, it needs a witch. This is where we see that Agatha is on a ship in the middle of the ocean. And while she makes her way through these very rough waves, we are picking back up with your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, trying to figure out what this place is, what's going on, and where he might be. While he is here, his spider senses begin to go off. And coming flying through a window is the one and only Wolverine. Now, at first, Wolverine believes that Spider-Man is just a trick, just some kind of magical illusion. But as they fall to the ground, Spider-Man is trying to convince him that he is very much real. Before Wolverine sticks him in the stomach, he smells him. He can smell the cheap body spray. He knows that this is no illusion. And so, getting off Spider-Man, he gets up to his feet and they begin to figure out what the heck is going on. The last Wolverine remembers, he was at the bar. He had gone to the bathroom and he ended up here without his beer. But Wolverine does recognize this geography. He recognizes that this is a jungle in the northern part of a river. Specifically, this is the Mato Grosso jungle, a jungle in Brazil. And while the location may be very real, this giant city is not. This city is El Dorado, the lost city of Z. As they begin to investigate all of the ruins, Spider-Man steps on a switch. This switch opens up a doorway. As they look inside, they see a glowing purple orb. And almost immediately, this orb takes over. It has some kind of effect both on Spider-Man and Wolverine. That they don't know what this thing is, but each of them believe that this orb belongs to them. That whatever it is, it must be protected, and they are the only one to be able to do so. And so this causes them to get into a fight. Spider-Man is the first one to make his move, shooting webs at Wolverine and knocking the orb away. Wolverine jumps at the orb. Spider-Man web grabbing him by the feet and knocking him to the ground and then grabbing hold of the orb. He goes to make a run for it. As they make their way outside, the fight continues on. While Spider-Man tries to use his webs, Wolverine uses those webs against him. Getting Spider-Man down to his level, this is when he goes in on him. Headbutting Spider-Man, these two are tussling, tackling, punching. They are not holding back. But really, this is all about the orb. Spider-Man thinking to himself that he has never wanted to kill Wolverine before. All he can think about is the orb. It's like it's driving him. It's pushing him forward. This is where Wolverine slashes at Spider-Man. It cuts open his suit and we see that he actually hit Spider-Man. With Spider-Man bleeding from the chest, Wolverine kicks him down to the ground. Spider-Man didn't necessarily lose this fight. He was first to recognize that something is awry here, that something is very off. With Logan grabbing hold of that orb, we see that he disappears, and Spider-Man is transported back to New York. That's what takes us to 24 hours later. We pick up with the one-punch wonder that is Jessica Jones. While Jessica is doing what she does best, Spider-Man shows up and lets her know that Wolverine is gone, that he doesn't know what is happening. He doesn't even know if any of that was real, though he knows his injuries are very real. Spider-Man's face is torn up. He goes on to explain that there was a city by the name of El Dorado. Wolverine and him had fought over a glowing orb, and then Wolverine simply vanished. He doesn't know what he did. He doesn't know what to do or how to get him back. He doesn't even know if he can trust reality right now. But what if the last thing Wolverine remembers is fighting Spider-Man, with Jessica telling him to stop with all the self-loathing, that they are gonna figure out what is going on, to stop wasting time and let's go figure this out. And so while they jump into investigating, we pick up on the ship with Agatha, a portal opening up, and Agatha is congratulating Wolverine on his victory. Holding the orb, we see that Wolverine has been transformed, sporting a whole new costume with some awesome armor. The first victory has been won. She has the first person. And what comes next is Iron Man versus Storm. Alright gang, so we are picking up in Mexico. Storm has been hearing voices in her head. She has been hearing these voices even on Araco, presuming that this takes place before everything that happened with our X-Men and the fall of Krakoa, because Jean was helping her out by replaying these voices that she had been hearing. But as she descends her way down to Earth and finds herself in Mexico, these voices get louder. This is what takes her to a giant crystal cave. A voice calling her inside. Not sure what's going on, this is where she runs into Iron Man. Because Storm isn't the only one to hear these voices. Tony has also been hearing them as well. As the two of them walk inside and they begin to investigate. Tony is not picking up any other life signs but the two of them. But Storm is detecting some kind of supernatural activity. As they walk deeper into the cave, they both hear the voice of T'Challa, but they know that it is obviously not him. Coming up to a ledge, they both descend down. But as they make their descent, this is where things get a little bit weird. They start seeing people and voices in the crystals. And in the crystals, Storm is taunting Iron Man, reminding him of everything that he has done wrong, reminding him of all of his mistakes. This causes Iron Man to lash out. Whatever is going on in this cave, it is making the two very irritated with one another, to the point where they both begin to attack, with Storm bringing down the lightning. It hits Tony, and Tony retaliates with another blast from his chest, as we see the crystals beginning to fall. Both Storm and Iron Man feeling the impact of these hits. Storm believes that the crystals are making them act irrationally, but that's not stopping her from going after Iron Man, because the irritability is so high that they can no longer control their actions. They lash out at one another, with this only getting worse as the crystals continue on, coming in the form of Cyclops, coming in the form of Captain America, with Storm bringing down the lightning. Iron Man is able to maneuver through the lightning and he launches his missiles. He is able to bring Storm down to his level. He says that he is taking her in so she can explain herself. But Storm was only playing possum. Waiting for Tony to get close enough, she hits him with a huge bolt of lightning right in the arc reactor. This knocks his helmet off and it leaves him steaming. And with a quickness, Storm moves in on him, kicking him in the head, dropping him down to the ground. As everything comes crashing down around them, we see Tony fall down to the bottom. As he gets up to his feet, this is where he sees Professor Yinsen, another manifestation, taunting him, saying that he was used by Tony Stark, that he had a family, and all of that is now gone. With Tony hitting him with a blast, he doesn't recognize that he was actually hitting Storm. With Storm taking this blast, this is where memories of her past come up, putting her into an almost childlike state. When she goes to make her attack, she doesn't recognize that she is attacking Tony. Both of them fighting off their past, but both of them not seeing that they are just fighting each other. When the smoke clears, Tony just sees Storm lying on the ground, having no idea what the heck is going on. Storm lets Tony know that she has seen him in action many times before. She knows what he is actually capable of. And with his armor in such bad shape, she is not the one that is helpless down here. As the lightning cracks, we see Storm carrying Tony out of this place. Once they are finally out, they are free from whatever was going down in there. Whatever those crystals were, they wanted them to fight. Now she wonders why they were drawn here. What could possibly do this? Now Tony says that she was right. He has seen better days. But even still, she would have put up a better fight. While Storm admits that Tony definitely gave her a run for her money, at the end of the day, there was no way that Tony was gonna win this fight. This is where the purple smoke comes in and it begins to take Storm away. As Tony reaches out, Storm says that something has a hold of her. And so Tony left behind, he gets in contact with Captain Marvel. Not sure what the heck just happened, but he is needing a ride home. And then he's gonna try and figure out what the heck all of that was. Alright gang, so our story starts us off in Arizona. We have Ben and Johnny that are going to a local shoe store. A shoe store owned by Mr. B. On regular occasions, Ben's not one to wear shoes, but if he's gonna go out to a fancy restaurant like they plan to, he's gotta have the formal attire. And so while he's here getting ready to try on all of these shoes, Johnny goes looking for Mr. B. Not really sure where he went or where he's at. Johnny goes into the back office to look around for him, but after not finding him, he searches multiple rooms, eventually opening up the bathroom door. But when he opens up the door, what he finds is that this is a doorway to hell, with Johnny going through. Not sure what the heck is going on, that is where he hears the voice of Johnny Blaze. Now Storm goes on to ask where the heck are we and what the heck is going on. Ghost Rider tells him that this is supposed to be hell, or at least it's supposed to look like hell, but something's not right here. As he touches one of the rocks, he sees that this place is some sort of illusion, that this is not the real hell. If he were to guess where they are, they're probably somewhere in the Midwest. But Johnny Blaze doesn't believe that Johnny Storm is here for any other reason than someone sent him, that this is all gotta be some kind of trick, manipulation. And so Johnny Blaze punches Johnny Storm in the face. This is where the Human Torch goes on fire. He turns his flame on, trying to figure out why Blaze would just punch somebody for no reason. Neither of them know why they are actually there, but Johnny Blaze fully believes that somebody had sent Storm after him. This is when they get attacked by some local demons. Changing their target, they focus on taking these demons down. Throwing them into some rocks, we see the demons transform back into humans. And when Storm tries to say something to Blaze, it is already too late. The Ghost Rider has taken over, and he can smell the sin of Johnny. And so, as the fight breaks out between the two, the Human Torch throwing fireballs, Ghost Rider saying that this is no match for him, that he is a firefly drowning in the flames of damnation. But before this fight can truly get underway, Johnny decides that he's just gonna leave. He's not trying to fight the Ghost Rider, and he has no intention of doing so. And so, zooming off, we see him take off. With Ghost Rider punching a rock, we see what he really punches is a van. This is his new ride. As he gets in, the van sets aflame, and he goes chasing after Johnny. Now, the Human Torch, flying across this illusion hell, that is where he runs into a hell train. As he flies by all the passenger windows, that is where we see the arrival of Ghost Rider, coming off of a cliff, running right into Johnny. The two of them crash land right inside the train, with Storm going on to say that he is sick and tired of this, that they're both fire guys and fire guys should be sticking together, but Ghost Rider has no intention of working together. He just wants to make Johnny hurt. And so when he goes to attack the Human Torch burns a hole right through the floor, and now he is flying underneath the train. This is where one of the Hellcats attack him. With Johnny fighting with this cat underneath the train, it gives away his location. Ghost Rider beginning to punch through the ground, to punch through the bottom of the train. The Human Torch blaming the Hellcat for this. When Ghost Rider pulls up something that he grabs, he pulls up the Hellcat, with the Human Torch telling the kitty to attack now. The Hellcat opens up its mouth, and another little demon cat comes out. It begins clawing at the face of Ghost Rider. And this is where Human Torch takes an opportunity. As the kitty gets slung out the window, Johnny already has the chain of Ghost Rider tied up to a cart. Johnny takes that cart and he throws it underneath the train. This is what pulls Ghost Rider right underneath. Johnny knew there was no way he could beat Ghost Rider in a fair fight, but there was never a discussion about a fair fight. Johnny won by any means necessary. And so as the Ghost Rider gets sucked underneath, the train keeps on going, and as the illusion fades away, Johnny sees that he is in Chicago. As the train pulls into the station, Johnny hops off only to find himself transported yet again. But this time, he is transported to Agatha. At first, she debates, she wonders, but then she says that she'll count this as a win, and she bids Johnny good luck in the next round. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with Moon Knight in the Jersey woods. As he sits here and he talks about the mythical, fabled creature known as the Jersey Devil. He has come here because something has called him. He's not really sure what it is, no idea what is drawing him here, but he can feel the buzzing in his teeth. He knows that he is getting closer. That's what picks us up with Ty. He also finds himself over the Jersey forest, not being a huge fan of having to fly into US airspace. He's not happy about being here, but he knows that he is needed here. He can't explain why, but he can feel it. As the two make their arrival, they are greeted by Agatha. Unlike all the other contests, she is letting them know exactly what is going on. She tells them that this is the contest of chaos. Two champions have been called. On one hand, we have the Korean Dynamo, the pride of the nation, the beating heart of Tiger Division. That, of course, is Taiguchi. On the other hand, the Lunar Legionary, the Crescent Crusader, the Fist of Khonshu, the one and only Moon Knight. Each of them drawn to a mysterious zone of chaos magic, where only one can walk away. And this fight hardly seems fair. An S-class superhuman versus a mentally ill war criminal. But no one ever said that the contest of chaos was a fair fight. All that was said is that nothing is certain in the chaos zones. This is where we see the crystal formations popping up all over the ground. Moon Knight and Tai making their introductions, both of them recognizing that they are both outside of their respected jurisdictions, but neither of them can fight the calling of the crystals. The very heart of all of it, Etzium crystals, pure, uncut chaos magic. They don't really know anything about the crystals, they just know that they need them. They know that they want to hoard them for themselves. With this uncontrollable urge, Moon Knight and Tai begin their battle. Because chaos magic is not something that can be merely found or bought or bartered. It must be earned. It must be fought for. It must be taken. With Moon Knight throwing his crescent moons, they just bounce off of Tai. With Moon Knight going in, he gets flipped over and thrown to the ground. Obviously, Moon Knight is out of his league. But the thing about these crystals, they possess a strange quality, enough to create what could rightfully be called a chaos zone. Refacting reality. It shows what is and what if. This is where we see the two of them transformed. Moon Knight transformed into Captain Crescent, his blood made divine by the serum, raised up as the fist of the god-conquered United States of Khonshu. And Tai, he never got those superhuman powers from that gem. Instead, he became the kingpin of South Korea. And so as the two of them begin to fight, we see that Captain Crescent, he definitely has the upper hand. With Tai getting whacked on the head with the shield, we see another transformation, a mummified version of the Fist of Khonshu, and the living embodiment of Tiger Division, the king of the mountains, the sacred tiger spirit of Taiguchi. It doesn't take long for Tai to knock off the head of the Moon Knight zombie, but Moon Knight still has some tricks up his sleeve. Using his rags, he tries to wrap up the tiger, but in trying to do so, we see Tai grab his arm and rip it off his body, and then Tai begins to beat Moon Knight's body with his own arm. Another giant flash. The chaos magic has raised the stakes. For despite all the talk of devils, it is gods who walk the Pine Barrens tonight. Moon Knight has become Spectre, the god of the moon. His title taken bloody-handed from the father he murdered. And then Taiguchi, the Psylocke incarnate, and he is crowned with the crystal shards of his power. Both of them at this point are on god-level status, and Tai is the first to throw a blow. Coming in with a heavy-powered punch, we see this reverberate out for at least half a mile. With the giant blue explosion, we see both Tai and Moon Knight left in the crater. Moon Knight telling him that this is folly, that he is the moon itself. His strengths move entire oceans. You cannot resist him any more than you could resist the tides. And so Tai says that he will fight the tides, he will fight the moon, he will fight death itself if need be, because no godling can ever frighten him. And Moon Knight has heard this before. That is what Khonshu had said before he killed him, taunting Tai, telling him to come fight me, come try to kill a god. As Tai gets ready to lay down a devastating blow, they are transformed back to their regular selves, trying to figure out what the heck is happening. Tai is saying that it's the crystals, that it's changing them into different versions of themselves, that it wants them to fight, that only one of them can take power. This is where Moon Knight says, you know what? Screw it. You win. With Tai absolutely confused. He's saying that I win just like that. And Moon Knight tells him just like that. Tai not really sure if this is a trick or what's going on. Moon Knight knows power. He's had all kinds of power. He's swung Thor's hammer. He's drove Ghost Rider's car. He struck with the Iron Fist. He burned with the Phoenix. And all of that got him absolutely nothing. Nothing but a broken life. Nothing but his kid taken far away from him. And so he's done. He let the Phoenix go. He can let this go. And so he tells Ty to go ahead and take the power. You seem like a good guy, a better guy than me. Maybe this will work out for you. But if it doesn't, don't say that I didn't warn you. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with Gwyn. And Gwyn is finding herself in a place that she doesn't recognize. One moment she was on Earth. The next moment, she's finding herself in what looks to be some kind of medieval time period. And of course, Gwyn at first believes that she is dreaming. She was so tired that she was unable to stay in medieval history class. And so the leap that this is dreaming really isn't that big of a jump. But this is when the wizard shows her the orb. The same orb that we have seen many of our heroes fighting over. Gwyn is being told that she is the protector of this orb. And right now, White Fox and her forces, they are descending down on them. They are getting ready to siege the castle. With Gwyn and the wizard headed up to the wall, they see the forces standing outside. They see White Fox riding her dragon, and Ghost Spider being who she is. She wastes no time and she jumps right over the castle wall. She immediately goes to attack White Fox, telling White Fox that she needs to get out of here, that her and whatever creature she brought with her, they are the ones trying to come and take this kingdom. But White Fox is under the impression that our Spider is the one that stole the orb. Both of them saying that they're not supposed to be here. The last White Fox remembers, she was somewhere below Seoul, South Korea. She was fighting alongside Tiger Division, but after she got knocked through a wall, she found herself in this medieval time period. While these two were really trying to hash out what the heck is going on, we see White Fox's dragon go up and it takes the orb from this wizard. Taking that orb, the dragon puts it in its mouth and it swallows it whole. As it begins to fly off, we see White Fox and Ghost Spider jump onto the dragon, with White Fox refusing to back down, saying that she is gonna get this orb one way or another. She draws out a sword and she opens up the dragon, but cutting the dragon open, we see that this looks more like wires than actual flesh and blood. As the orb begins to fall from the sky, both Ghost Spider and White Fox, they go chasing after the orb only to fall in some kind of sludge. And when they come to the surface, they see that there are individuals there waiting, looking like this is almost freaking Waterworld. Also learning that the dragon and many other things were animatronics. This is when Ghost Spider really starts to figure things out, as the people on the jet skis take off with the orb, Spider-Gwen using a web and she begins to follow behind them. At this point, she's wondering if White Fox might be a robot. At first, she believed that they were in another dimension, but she has soon figured out that this is called Quest World, an abandoned Japanese theme park. Imagine Westworld, but in Marvel Universe. But with a huge explosion, the two of them are transported somewhere else, appearing to be 1920s gangsters. The gangster is looking for the orb, but knowing that these are animatronics, as they face off against Capone and all of his goons, they know that they don't have to hold back. And in the blink of an eye, we are transported yet again, this time to Electrotram 2000. Now at this point, White Fox and Spider-Gwen, they figured things out. They understand that the orb has some kind of control, has some kind of power. Both of them ready to slit each other's throats just to get a hold on it. That it is making them violent and obsessed. But now they have no choice but to follow it. As they make their way through this ride, we see the orb pinging left and right. The thing is, neither of them want to grab it. Some kind of mystical orb that is trying to control them. And so by the end of this, we see them both on the ground, the orb in front of them. Neither one of them wanting to pick it up. This is where Agatha comes into play. Because these two, they're just not following the rules. They're not listening to what should be done. And whatever powers this orb may have, it's obviously not working anymore. We have seen this a handful of times with a handful of individuals. And it is no surprise that yet another spider person is able to break the hold of this orb. And it would appear that White Fox also has the capability of resisting. But at this point, both of them are saying that neither of them are gonna fight one another. But Agatha tells them that if one of you don't win, if you guys do not fight, then everyone you know dies. Not just you, but all of them. Not really sure if this is the truth or not, neither of them have an option. They have to fight. And so the brawl begins. with Ghost Spider getting the first punch. But we see White Fox quickly transform into her fox form. Spider-Gwen asking what the heck she is. She is the last of the Kumio, the last of the mystical Korean shapeshifters, the last of the fox spirits. And now, she is ending this fight, with White Fox turning back into her regular self, taking that orb and smashing it against the face of Ghost Spider. Just like that, this match is won, apologizing to Gwyn, but Gwyn saying good luck and that she will find you, that she will save you as well. Meanwhile, we have had Spider-Man and Jessica Jones trying to figure out what the heck has been going on. This led them to Clea Strange. And Clea, she has been investigating what is happening. While she was doing her investigation, Agatha came to her, letting Clea know that I know you are looking into all of these matters, but there is something that you don't understand. Agatha has brought her to the astral plane because Agatha plans to explain everything to Clea Strange. Because more than anything, Agatha needs Clea to trust her. Alright guys, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with Deadpool. Deadpool and his symbiote dog by the name of Princess. And we can't forget the new love of his life, Valentine. And if you're a little bit confused on who Princess or Valentine is, I highly recommend that you check out the series Deadpool, the 10-issue series that we have yet to fully cover. We still have issues 9 and 10 to cover, but it goes into detail on how all of this came to be. But our story picking us up with Deadpool getting ready to take Princess for a walk. As they get onto the streets of New York City, they walk down the road only to have a little balloon come up from the sewer. It begins to talk to Deadpool, telling it to touch his string. Now, Deadpool, he is saying that they don't talk to strangers, especially if someone asks them to touch their string, especially if it's a Dollar Tree Pennywise. But that's when that balloon, it wraps around Deadpool's wrist and it pulls him down. And when Deadpool lands on the other side, he finds himself at Hopperland, UK, the boardwalk of your dreams. Deadpool seeing this with pure excitement, seeing that they have everything, rigged carnival games, so ugly they're cute mascots, overpriced cotton candy, hot dogs galore. And while Deadpool shoves hot dogs into his face, this is where a giant purple surge comes crashing down. This is where we have the arrival of Venom. Now Venom, he has been searching for his father, Dylan, currently being the host of the Venom symbiote. And so being sidetracked like this, Dylan is already upset. He is supposed to be looking for Eddie. Dylan and Venom, they had been following Eddie's trail. That's when they got dumped through here through a portal. But they know that he's also not here at this demented amusement park, that this smells more like a trap than anything else. But when a rabbit comes alive nearby, it tells them that judgment will come, that its mistress is seeking a champion, and they have been invited to compete for the ultimate prize, the honor of serving as her chosen one. Dylan and Venom, they have no want or need to do this. Deadpool, he's in the same boat. Neither of them want anything to do with this situation, telling them that there is more, that this limited edition hopper, it is made of pure crystallized chaos energy. Whoever unlocks it, its potential will gain the power to change the fabric of reality, as well as the lifetime tickets to any Hopperland location worldwide. Now Venom is the first one to recognize that whatever that thing is, it smells like Eddie. It could lead them to wherever he is. And then having the power to change reality, Deadpool only caring about a lifetime theme park tickets and a new toy for Princess. With the chaos energy taking them over, both of them are more than ready to go after it. The rules: collect as many of the 4 special balloons from around the amusement park as you can. Whoever holds the most at the end, they are the winner. But there is an even number of balloons. But there is also no ties. There is only winners and losers. Your job is to take as many as possible by whatever means necessary. With the contest beginning, both Deadpool and Venom, they rush. They go to grab as many balloons as they can. But there are so many balloons, they don't know which ones are actually actually real. As they start grabbing balloons, they are popping left and right. None of these seem to be the real ones. As some kind of teddy bear amusement thing comes alive, Venom's immediate response is to bite its head off. But when he does this, not only do maggots come flying out, but one of the balloons. Venom has won the first challenge. They head over to the roller coaster for their second. As they get over to the roller coaster, they see that the stuffed animals have all come to life. And now Venom and Deadpool, they are kicking and ripping heads off, pulling these guys apart, hoping to find another balloon. As they hop onto the roller coaster, the ride begins to take them, and along their way, they are just decimating anything and everything that stands in their way. And that includes one another. As these two begin to attack each other, we see that Deadpool is the one to walk away from this challenge with the balloon. Now they head to the funhouse. As they head over to the funhouse, we see all the stuffed animals. They are waiting. This is carnival games, but Deadpool has just the thing for this. With a rocket launcher in hand, he launches that rocket and we see the giant explosion. This has earned him 2 more balloons. Having enough to win this game, he goes to walk away only for Venom to impale him with a giant pole. In doing so, he takes one of the balloons from Deadpool, but Deadpool is also starting to recognize that something is going on. Something is amiss. Having an urge to kill Venom, he finds that it's almost out of character for him. He doesn't kill people for free. Not on purpose anyways. So why is he feeling so murderous all day? With the giant rabbit saying that it's a tie, but there are no ties in Hopperland, which means it is now a fight to the death. They must take the balloons off their opponent's dead corpse. This is when Deadpool understands that the purple fire around the ultimate prize, this is what is affecting their brains. That's why this feels like Black Friday on steroids. But Venom is completely taken over. He doesn't care. He just knows that he needs the prize. With Venom going in, he bites Deadpool. He bites right through his arm and rips it off. In doing so, Venom has claimed every single one of the balloons. Venom has won the challenge. As the portal opens up, Venom and the rabbit, they go away. Deadpool peering in. That is when he sees Agatha. He picks up his arm and he begins to run. All of the stuffed animals are currently charging after him, but Agatha opens up a portal to send Deadpool home. As she walks through hers, she welcomes both Venom and Dylan. And with Agatha almost having everything that she needs, champions are not made in a day. Neither are Darkholds. And so she knows that she must be patient. Just a little bit longer and she will have everything that she needs. Deadpool arriving back home with Valentine and Princess. Not really sure what the heck that was all about, but he did find himself left behind with some of these stuffed animals, the ones filled with worms. And he tells Valentine that they should probably go on vacation after the Munich hit. He wants to go to a theme park, but definitely a normal one. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we pick up with Iron Man, with Captain Marvel, the Scarlet Witch, Vision, Captain America, Black Panther, and of course the God of Thunder. All of them currently headed to the Bermuda Triangle. They have come looking for the missing heroes. They have come to stop her from creating a new Darkhold. And as they arrive, what they see is a giant whirlpool. Ships that have gone missing in the Bermuda Triangle, dating back all the way to the 1800s. They start to rise up from the ocean, and so they decide to start splitting up, that Agatha's gotta be on one of these ships. Teams of 2 begin to check everything out, with Captain Marvel landing on one of these ships. She begins to head into the captain's quarters, but when she goes to open up that door, she is hit with a heavy blast. She is hit by lightning from Storm. Now, Captain Marvel tries to let her know that you are being controlled, that you have to be able to break this spell, but this spell has too strong of a hold on her. Storm hits her again and knocks her into the water. And when Captain Marvel arises from that sea, she sees that this battle is fully underway. Falcon versus Venom. Cyclops taking strikes at the Scarlet Witch. Our heroes don't want to hurt the controlled heroes, the Darkhold champions. But that doesn't mean that they can't lay some smackdowns on them. At least give them what they know they can handle. Because as it stands, they're losing this fight. It is utter and complete chaos, with Cyclops going ahead and trying to take a strike at the Scarlet Witch. We see that Wanda hesitates. Luckily for her, Captain Marvel comes in and blocks it. And then she sends Cyclops out to sea. This is where we have a portal open up and we have the arrival of Clea Strange, Jessica Jones, and Spider-Man. They have yet to find a way to break the control that Agatha has over them. Right now, they're just trying to stall this fight out until they can find Agatha. But Agatha, all of her champions, they are also a stall. She needs to finish the Darkhold. At this point, Clea knows that Agatha has to be close, maintaining the spell and controlling the heroes. She has to be in close vicinity. No matter how powerful she might be, she cannot be far away from the situation. This is when they come to the conclusion that she must be inside the Bermuda Triangle. Captain Marvel and the Scarlet Witch, they jump down there, and that is where they find her. As they make their attack, Agatha is telling them not yet, that she is yet to finish it, that none of them realize what they are doing. They know how dangerous chaos magic is. They also know that the Earth is too damaged to contain it. Agatha has been taking the weight of this responsibility that would have crushed them. Agatha dealing a blow to Wanda, and then Wanda and Carol, they attack her. As she puts up her defenses, we see the Darkhold fall. With it falling down to the ground, that is when Carol goes to grab it. Both Wanda and Agatha telling her not to touch it, but it is already too late. As soon as she touches it, there is a giant explosion. The Bermuda Triangle starts to sink in on itself. All the ships begin to go down. All of our heroes have to make a getaway, and Agatha is nowhere to be seen. They see that the Darkhold is no longer glowing. They wouldn't believe that Agatha would just leave this behind. And so Wanda starts calling out for her, but they don't have any time. They gotta get out of here and they have to do it now. With our Darkhold champions no longer being under this spell, they are all being able to make it back to shore. And as they watch the sun set, they know that this wasn't a victory. Everyone was saved, so it was a good day. But Agatha is still out there, and even more. Agatha didn't finish the Darkhold, or at least that is what it appears. But as Wanda holds it, she feels that something is off. The energy that she created to make the Darkhold, it had to have gone somewhere. But magic can be unpredictable. When the book exploded, maybe something happened to Agatha. Our heroes left flabbergasted, not sure what happened to Agatha or what happened to the energy that was in the Darkhold. But as we pick up someplace else, we have Agatha that is washed ashore. She scrambles and searches for the Darkhold, but it is nowhere to be found. This is when a young boy comes up to her. He asks if she is okay. As this conversation gets ongoing, Agatha wondering, where are your parents? But this boy doesn't have any parents. Knowing Agatha's name, Agatha, she's a little uneasy. She's not sure who this kid is or where he came from. But he goes on to say that I am your greatest success, because this boy is the living embodiment of the Darkhold. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Alright, so this is the final issue of the Contest of Chaos. I was expecting something a little bit more. You know, we have been building up, getting these Darkhold champions. I expected the fight against the Avengers to be so much more than it actually was. Half of the characters that she took, we didn't even get to see them fully in combat with the Avengers. It really focused on Carol, it focused on individuals like Wanda, but not so much everybody else. I guess that's really to be expected. You have so many champions on the board, it is so heavily convoluted, and your final issue is what, 22 pages long? Sorry, 25 pages, and that's not including the cover and all that informational stuff. It would have been nice if this had been like 40 pages long and we would have actually got to see everybody in combat. Everybody used to their full extent. So for me, that was a letdown. But I do like the premise that the Darkhold is not a book any longer. The Darkhold is a person, a now living manifestation, chaos magic in a singular person. This leaves me very curious on where this is gonna go, who this boy is going to be, how this is going to affect the realm of magic. There's a lot of potential here. It was kinda sloppy, a little bit messy getting here, but it has potential. Now we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with this new living person that is the Darkhold. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that is going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with the Contest of Chaos. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.